Yeah. Jesus. All right. So this is this is old Gonzalo. You guys remember Gonzalo? Coach Red Pill. Oh yeah. Coach fucking Red Pill. Let's see what dumb thing Coach Red Pill has to say today, because the title of this is In Time They Will Come For You. Let's see what dumb shit Gonzalo Lira is saying today.
So, there are a couple of data points that I wanted to refer to you today. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just thinking about them makes me laugh. I mean,
what is his personality? Thinking about them makes me laugh. You didn't have to say the second part. We understood. You said data points, ha ha ha, and then you laughed. I assume that's why you were laughing. I didn't need to understand that. It's like Ben Shapiro going, "That's humorous." I find that humorous. Okay.
because they're so absurd. They're absurd, but they point to something more pernicious. Well, let me get to the data points. The data points are two. Number one.
Oh, you broke your hand. Okay. Probably from Kyling a wall. There's no way that's not a Kyle situation, right?
Number one.
There's this right here. Yeah, he definitely punched a wall, right? Yeah. A woman said something. And he's like, "Fuck! Bah! And then his brittle old man bones snapped. Absolutely. A woman dared, and he Kyled the wall. Fucking Kyle.
One. There is this doctor, a serious doctor, who is saying that the vaccine for COVID-19 should not be given to older white people.
What?
Because they have too much white privilege. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. So I'm pretty sure the conversation was, and don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure the conversation was not that. Okay? The conversation about vaccine distribution was, let's put it in the communities that seem to be more heavily affected first, and then work our way up. Work our way up to the people that are least affected. Okay? So, frontline workers, hospital people, all that stuff, emergency vehicle operators, police. Then you also have essential workers, food employees and stuff like that are able to do it. Pharmacy workers, mail carriers should probably be on the list. Stuff like that, and then working from a perspective of like population density and working your way out. And a lot of the dense population places that are hurt are poor and highly populated places, which happen to be in America, of course. Black communities, because of systemic racism, which isn't a thing Gonzalo probably thinks is real, as he sits in Poland. Not worrying. I don't know why he's worried about this. And the idea is just to trickle your way up, and so I'm like, I should probably be near the last, right? Because I work from home. I'm not a frontline worker, and I'm pretty low risk. I don't have like asthma or anything. So yeah, I don't. I don't really think that's the conversation, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's let his reality exist for now. Oh, wow.
It should be given to people of color. Oh, yeah.
So, well, here's a data point. People of color seem to be at higher risk for contracting and dying from the virus. So, it's like watching a forest fire, right? And you see the hottest part of the forest fire. And you go, no, I don't think we're going to address that. I don't like the type of trees that are on fire there anyway. Like, what?
people of color should be prioritized because of, past injustices and white privilege and all the rest of it.
That's not why. It's just not. He's just pretending that's why, I guess.
Even if that means that some people who are at higher risk wind up dying because they don't get the vaccine. Okay? That's data point number one. And data point number two is the nation of all people, is saying...
The nation of all people? What? That's not nation. Nations aren't people. They're made of people, but a nation is not a person.
That black people, their votes should count for 2. This is a serious article, by the way, in The Nation, which is supposed to be a serious magazine, but no way. I mean, we're in clown world, so everything is funny. But anyway, The Nation is saying that black people should get 2 votes. Well, on the second data point, I beg to differ. I mean...
what did he say?
Well, on the second data point, clown world, so everything is funny. But anyway, The Nation is saying that black people should get 2 votes.
Who said that? Who said black people should get 2 votes? Who is this? What? A magazine, maybe? I don't know. Who, what? No one's talking about this. The Nation magazine? I don't know what that is. Do you have a link? No, you don't have a link to that? Okay. I don't know. The Nation of Islam? The Nation is a political magazine. Okay, so The Nation... I don't know what that is, but so they say that black people should get 2 votes. Black votes, reparations. The votes of black Americans should count twice. So The Nation, vote reparations would empower us to replace oppressive institutions with life-affirming structures of equality. That's not what equality is. So I disagree. I disagree with that. I think. Why don't we? No, you can't give anybody based on like Bryson Gray's gonna get 2 votes as well. You know what I mean? Like that's just dumb. That's just dumb stuff. Brandon Hasbrook. Oh boy. If I look up Brandon, he better be black. He better not be a white guy. Okay, he's a black guy. That's fine. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Heart skipped a beat for a second. At least he's black. That's fine. I disagree with that. I don't think it's effective, and it's actually kind of lib as fuck to be like, more electoralism for black people, please. Like, unless he's explaining it differently, and I'm only reading. We can look at it for a second. Unless he's explaining it differently, I don't tend to agree with this. But even so, it's just one guy. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody. And I think Gonzalo doesn't want this for a different reason than I wouldn't want this. So I don't want this because I don't think this is the answer, right? I don't think this is the answer at all. And also, Joe Biden's not a good... 94% of Detroit voters voted for Biden. Joe Biden's not a good choice. He's just the choice we had. So this isn't how reparations should work. Why don't we enfranchise every black voter rather than giving the black voters that are enfranchised 2 votes? You know what I mean? Like, why don't we just let more people vote? Why don't we make voting a week-long affair? Why don't we make sure that there are systems in place in communities all over that help with transportation? Make sure that everybody gets paid to vote would be definitely ideal. Like if you paid someone $100 to vote, like they would give you $100 to vote, or $50 to vote, or fucking $20 to vote. Long form, yeah. Like you didn't assume you looked at the fuck up. Of course, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you should do. Is it an editorial? It's just one guy's opinion. No one's talking about this except this one guy. It's a bad plan. It's very. It reads very, I'm a proud Democrat. I don't know anything about the guy. It just sounds like something that a white lady would think up. What if we just gave him 2 votes? It doesn't address the fucking problem, dude. It doesn't. Like expanding voting rights to felons and non-citizen residents. Yeah, maybe not non-citizens. It just depends. Because I could definitely foresee a big issue with allowing non-citizen residents. You could have a situation where, and I could see America doing this, right? So check this out. America could be like, okay, so we're going to facilitate the transportation of a group of people into a communist country that claims to be democratic, and they've done similar stuff like this, but without this particular law. I could see the United States say, instead of the Vietnam War, say they just said, okay, and then we're going to let non-citizens vote in our elections. I know you said residents, which is different, but so we ship in a bunch of people, let them become residents, and then with the caveat that we will allow them to stay and we will incentivize their living situation by keeping them in that country and then affecting the vote how America sees fit. I could see that happening. Yeah, but I think if you're on the path to citizenship, yes, but not just being a resident. Does that make sense? I agree. If you, it just depends on how that's meant. But, Meaty, thanks so much for giving one to Twink Plant Boy. Some non-citizens can vote in state elections. Of course, yeah, absolutely. So it just depends. It just depends. But make Election Day a holiday. Make Election Week a holiday. Election Week. I said it. All week long, 7 whole days. Start it on, the first week of November, the last week of November. I don't care. The whenever it begins. You have to have the maximum amount of people participating in democracy for it to be representative, right? And to incentivize that, again, give people $20, give people $10. I don't care. Literally hand them a $20 bill. Literally make it a stimulus as well. If you vote, you get $20. Okay. Thoughts on mandatory voting? I don't like mandatory anything. Sir Parker Posey, thanks for Prime. So, you can't make people mandatory vote. It's fine. If you want to abstain, it's part of what you get to do. That's 2 whole babies. Thank you, Sir Parker Posey. I think abstinence from voting is absolutely fine. But incentivize voting. That's totally different, right? Incentivize doesn't force you to do anything. It just encourages you to do it, which is how we should do things. It's the same way you should teach children to do stuff. You don't force them to do anything. Encourage them to do it. Positive reinforcement. It always works. Where you just have a situation where, again, we stop disenfranchising people for the color of their skin, a thing we do in the United States, which is why I understand where the sentiment of black people should get 2 votes comes from. But why don't we address the actual issue, which is black voices are suppressed in multiple ways, right? And maybe the counter argument that guy would have is, well, how do you do that unless black people have more voting power? Okay, I'm willing to listen to that, but it's still not the right answer. Then like who's black becomes a question. You know what I mean? Which maybe that's a good thing to set the precedent that black isn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like from a legal standpoint. I don't know. Maybe that's a 4D chess move that I just can't see the end of. But yeah. Why aren't we all automatically registered to vote at 18? That's a good question. So they should send things just like selective service. This is what I was going to talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up. Like selective service, if you are AMAB, you got one of these, a selective service card. They sent it to you. You didn't have a choice. And you had to send that in and sign up for selective service, which is like if we have a draft, you get selected. Do the same thing. Actually, get rid of selective service because it's fucking dumb. But do the same thing for voting. Just be like, here you go. You have to register to vote. And when you do, we will send you $10. I don't care. Like literally, I don't. Just incentivize it a little bit. $5. Like, yeah. That's a thing. Yeah, selective service is a thing. Yeah, government sorting people by race is usually bad. Exactly. I really don't, and especially because the guy that wrote that is actually he's rather a light-skinned black man, and the concern for me is if you say black people get 2 votes, people will start debating who is black, and I don't like that conversation. You know what I mean? Like. that doesn't seem like super ideal to be having that discussion. Who gets 2 votes? You know what I mean? Like, how far down do I have to have, like, a black ancestor? Do I have to look black passing? Like what's the bar? It's like a single drop doctrine, just in the opposite way. It's really bad. Can't you not get a driver's license if you're AMA and don't register for selective service? There's absolutely an issue with it. Yeah. Yeah. I forget what it was. I forget what was threatened of me, but yeah, I have it. I still have my card in my wallet somewhere. Yeah, it sounded like one drop shit, and I don't like that. And I don't like that. Are we going to swab everyone's DNA? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So it just doesn't, it might sound, again, it sounds like liberal wokeness. So we debate who's black when it matters with votes, but the one drop rule is a thing. The one drop rule is dumb. It's really fucking stupid because there's lots of people that are just white that are like, well, I guess I get to say the N-word now. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking shut up. The Nation magazine is a liberal rag. Surprise! Anyway, so he's not, again, Gonzalo, of course, check that out, is not engaging with leftists. He's engaging with a single liberal that said something that I also disagree with, but for vastly different reasons than him. Probably. If he's right about this, that'd be ideal. Wow, that would be so good. I don't think he is, though. We'll see.
Well, on the second data point, I beg to differ. I mean...
Is he going to say that black people shouldn't have any votes at all? Yikes.
Because black people will never have 2 votes.
I hope.
In certain counties, black people had 3 votes and 4 votes and 5 votes and 6 votes. And in some counties, dead black people had more votes than living white people. It's
worse than I thought. It's fucking collusion shit. The votes weren't real. Oh, okay. I can't believe he could have gotten this answer so easily. He could have literally just gotten the answer right. And he just is like, you know what? The reality all of you live in, I'm going to ignore that shit. Let's get rid of reality for a little while. Gonzalo Lira is talking. Luckily, this video is 4.5 minutes long.
So I think that the nation
that's a fake ass sad boy laugh right there. You hear that?
Behind the curve, but okay, that's a little parentheses. My point, and it's a serious point.
Is there a door to this room? Someone look for the exit. I actually haven't seen it. He swung. Is there no exit? What the fuck? Is this a jail cell? Okay, someone look. I don't think there's a fucking door.
The point is, see, we have gotten...
Yeah, like, I have Puerto Rican ancestry, and I know I have slave ancestry, so I totally go for that shit for praxis, but, like, probably shouldn't qualify, so it'd be a whole can of worms. It's just not reasonable. It's just not reasonable. That's why he's manic. He never leaves.
Whereby the left is actually saying... The
left, you see. Not one fella on a magazine that... I just found out exists. No. It's the left. Yes, of course.
That certain races should be penalized.
There's windows.
Because
Maybe he climbs out the window?
that they are of a certain race. And other races should have certain prerogatives and privilege.
We literally just, I know he can't watch us disagree with this, but I literally did, and I think anyone on the left would really disagree with this if they thought about it for like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, again, it just sounds like a lib trying to be like, oh, please, I prostrate myself to black people. I have white guilt. And it's like, that's not helpful, Tina. Why don't we actually do something proactive?
Merely because they
like
are
actual reparations, maybe? I don't know.
Collective guilt is taken to...
Is that a door? Maybe that's the door.
Level that not even the Nazis would push for.
Well, that's a corner.
That's what's going on. That's what the American left is pushing.
The Nazis?
That white people should not receive a vaccine because of white privilege.
What? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. No one's saying white people shouldn't. I know most of my friends are white. Shocker. Shocker, I know. Most of my friends are white. Several of them have vaccines already? What? Where's he getting this from? Fucking nowhere. I don't know. I don't know. Are the Caucasians okay?
And black people should have 2 votes rather than the 1 vote that most people are supposed to have. And they are pushing this seriously. And the worst part...
No, they are not pushing this seriously. No one is seriously pushing this. No one with power has ever brought this up, and no one ever should. It is a bad idea, and it's never fucking happened.
Is that there are a lot of people on the left who are agreeing with this. I mean, look, I'm trying to make light of this, but it's hard. Think of it. Think of it as if the shoe were on the other foot. Huh? People would be saying that this is
Thanks,
crazy.
Levelhead.
If
Appreciate
Republicans, right-wingers, were saying that white people should have 2 votes, and BIPOC, or BIPOC, or however they pronounce that word, black, indigenous, and people of color only got 1 vote, people would be outraged. And if they were to say that black people shouldn't get a vaccine, that it should go just to white people, people would be furious.
Nobody's saying the opposite. God. I don't even know. It's wild. It's wild. It's just, this is like, I'm just going to make stuff up. I'm just going to make it up. You know what I mean? Just like, who cares? Who cares what reality is? No one gives a shit.
Huh? But that's what...
Huh? Huh?
The left is pushing. It's absurd.
The left is not pushing this.
Oh,
it's so dumb.
Leftists of all stripes. I mean,
you think this motherfucker's a leftist?
even so-called moderate leftists are pushing this. And so I...
A moderate leftist? What even is that? What's a moderate leftist? What does that look like? What? Moderate leftist Tim Pool. True. This guy's a fucking idiot. Coach Red Pill is so dumb, dude.
I want to ask the following question to moderate leftists.
Who's that? Who is a moderate leftist?
Do you really believe in this nonsense, or are you just agreeing so that they don't come for you?
Who's they? Who's they? No one's coming for me. If a black person agrees with this, I disagree with them. It's just not thoughtful. It just doesn't make long-term sense. Session 1155. Thank you so much. So if black people get 2 votes, what do you think Republicans' answer to that would be once they're in power? Okay, so they get 2 votes, but we're going to make it really hard for black people to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally the response to that would be, like, to shut them out of the political process in general. Right? Like, that's obviously what would happen. It's just not a benefit. It's not a smart chess move. It's like taking a pawn when, I don't know, chess. Taking a pawn instead of something else. Like an early something. I don't know. Why chess on the ceiling, lady. You know stuff. You get it. It's a bad chess move. Whatever it is. It's being aggressive early and not and forsaking the late game. You're just going to lose. You're just going to lose that. The proper, ethical, and effective thing to do, just from a fucking purely pragmatic perspective, is enfranchise every human. Done. Let the votes fall where they may. Ranked choice voting would be ideal, obviously. Get rid of the Electoral College, obviously. Make sure it's a week-long. Incentivize voting in whatever way you can, preferably money. You know. like obviously that's the answer. Like, just going 2 votes is incredibly short-sighted. It might work, like, next election. It won't work 4 elections in a row. I don't know. It's just really stupid. It's just real dumb. There is an incentive, a sweet sticker. It actually kind of is part of the reason I like to vote. I do like the stickers. The stickers are great. In fact, if they could have stickers of your favorite politician on there too, you know what I mean? Like, the stickers are pretty cool. I voted. Yeah, I'm into that. You know, it's cool. I actually, not to get too far off track here, when I was more on the high end of the managerial spectrum, when I worked at McDonald's back in the early 2000s, early and mid, I was in charge of training. And besides, once you get trained, you get like a 15-cent raise or something. So I really tried to get everybody trained at least a little bit because fuck people taking people's money. Anyway, I was a lib back then, definitely. I was not politically very savvy back then as a poor person, although that was much farther left than my conservative neighbors but and peers. But I gave them stars based on their performance for the different tests that I created. And I gotta say, people fucking love that shit, okay? People fucking love stars, all right? Give them a little star action. I'm telling you, if you're a teacher, use the star board, man. It's good shit. People love them. People love them. Be like, and really gas people up about that shit too. Like, ooh, we got a fucking. I'm sorry. Are you a 5-time gold star? How many 5-timers we got in here? Damn near everybody. Who's lagging behind? I got you. We're gonna get everybody to 5 stars. Once we get everybody to 5 stars, I'm bidding fucking pizza party. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. People love that shit. Again, positive reinforcement. I wish I could give you guys badges for channel points, too.
Do you really believe that elderly white people should not get a vaccine that might potentially save their lives? And black people should get it merely because of the color of their skin?
Literally no one's saying this.
Do you really believe that black people, because of past injustices of several hundred years ago, should get twice the voting power that a non-black person gets? Do you really believe it?
No.
Or are you just afraid that if you go against this and say how absurd it is,
who fucking is afraid of this?
Cancel culture, the crazies on the far left will come for you?
Who is canceling people for saying something? No one is canceling anybody for that. It's just not a thing. Who is he talking about? These people don't exist. It's just it's a figment of his imagination.
Because I'll tell you right now, if you don't stand up for this now, eventually they will come for you. And there won't be anyone around to save you.
Oh, Coach Red Pill, everybody. Good job, Gonzalo.